Most English learners stay stuck in a waiting room of their own making. You tell yourself you'll finally start speaking once you've memorized enough vocabulary or once you've mastered every nuanced rule of grammar. But holding a conversation doesn't require an encyclopedic memory. It certainly doesn't require a flawless transcript. The basic words you already know are enough to make yourself understood. The trap is thinking that readiness must come before action. If you wait until you feel completely prepared to open your mouth, you will likely stay silent forever. The only true prerequisite for speaking a new language is the willingness to try. It demands nothing more than the grit to step out and accept that you will make mistakes along the way. When you stop measuring your progress by how many mistakes you avoid, you remove the primary obstacle to your own growth. Fluency isn't a reward for being perfect. It's a tool that only works if you actually use it. When you step out into a bustling street, you quickly see how people actually communicate. They aren't delivering long, complex speeches. Real, everyday interactions rely almost entirely on brief exchanges. To navigate these spaces, you don't need paragraphs. You just need to understand how to use modular sentences. This diagram shows a modular sentence. It starts with a two-word foundation, like I am, acting as a permanent anchor. This connects to an empty slot. By swapping the final word, hungry, ready, happy, the grammar remains identical, but your ability to communicate changes instantly. Think about ordering your morning coffee. The entire transaction is handled with a good morning, and I'd like a cappuccino, please, and closes out with a quick no thank you. You can use the same logic to find what you need at the supermarket. A brief, excuse me, where can I find milk, followed by a standard thank you, is all it takes to get the information you need. Mastering these short, polite loops gives you the ability to handle your own business in almost any store or cafe. Long, complicated sentences are simply unnecessary. This principle holds up even in a corporate office. Many learners freeze up at work, assuming that business English requires a completely different, more intimidating vocabulary. Imagine a coworker approaching your desk to ask for help on a project. The immediate instinct is to panic about how to sound articulate enough to be taken seriously. This diagram compares two ways of responding. On the left is an overly complex, jargon-heavy sentence, but watch how it collapses down. When you strip away the filler, you're left with a clean, functional phrase, I can help. In a fast-paced environment, simple phrasing is often preferred. Shorter sentences increase clarity and reduce the chances of miscommunication between colleagues. To close the interaction smoothly, you can use universally accepted polite replies. An "of course" or a simple "my pleasure" is enough to remain professional and helpful. You don't need to learn a separate corporate dialect. Professional English is ultimately just simple English, delivered clearly and with polite intent. The path to fluency operates on a paradox. You don't gain confidence so that you can finally start speaking. Confidence is the direct result of having spoken. Every person who speaks English fluently today started where you are. They stumbled through short sentences, they mixed up words, and they practiced through the awkwardness. Now that you see how simple these exchanges can be, I have a challenge for you today. Speak English for just 5 minutes. Use the modular phrases we covered to describe your day or ask a question. Your goal for those 5 minutes is momentum, not accuracy. Stumbling over a word means you are actively practicing, which is far more valuable than sitting silently with a perfect sentence in your head. Taking action today builds the foundation for tomorrow. Daily, imperfect practice is the only bridge that takes you from a hesitant beginner to a speaker who can navigate the world with ease.
Subscribe for more English tips.